It's time for another story behind the photograph. I'm kind of changing up the format. The previous format was a little bit too much for me with my work schedule and having two boys at home. So I'm trying to streamline and make it a little bit easier, but still be able to talk about the images and kind of what went behind them. Today is a little bit more of a personal one. As you can see, I'm wearing my Batman shirt, and my two young boys are really into superheroes right now. And so Dominic just had his birthday, and for his birthday, the boys both got new superhero costumes. As you can see, this is Captain America, and this is my son Dino, and this is the image that I'm going to be talking about and kind of going through the whole process of creating these fun images that we wanted to use to create posters for their bedroom. But before I go into that, you can see this is the birthday boy on his birthday asleep in his new Spider-Man costume along with his police helicopter he received. We went superhero throughout for the theme. You can see the Captain America shield cake. And this is where it all took place. This is in my garage, and I've been looking for some just creative ways to have fun with photography and kind of bring my boys into it and teach them a little bit. I've been training my older son a little bit about taking photos with an iPhone. So I set up my garage with two strobes, just using a 580 EX2, and I have a shoot-through umbrella, and one of them is a reflector, just over a black backdrop. And so here's the setup with Dino in his new costume that he received just a couple days before. And this is the image that became the Captain America pose. This one actually was only one of the flashes fired, so which is cool because I was able to create this really contrasty image on black that has superhero feel. But I took that and I found these backgrounds on sxc.hu, and that is a free stock photography site. And so here's the image that I found of a dusty, abandoned warehouse. Looks like there was a superhero fight had just taken place in it. And I took that and I mapped the photo on and matted out the black backdrop in order to create the image that you see here of Captain America. And then I just used some fog that was shot on black in order to cut that in and put it over him and kind of make Dino fit into the atmosphere. And all of this was treated in Lightroom, and then I took it into Photoshop, did the cutout and the masking that I wanted, got my layers all aligned, brought it back into Lightroom where I tweaked it, added clarity. And something I don't tell everyone until now is that I finish a lot of my images actually on my iPhone. There's a few apps I really like. Snapseed is one of them. And by adding the drama filter to it, the image just comes alive. And so that's where I finished that image actually. And here is just a couple of other fun ones that I had of Captain America. And here's Dominic. He was not really wanting to do the photo shoot. He was willing to be bribed with a fruit snack, and that was enough to get him to give me one pose, which I put over this city backdrop here and added some really horrible web effects in Photoshop, and then distressed it, and again took this over into Snapseed. That's where I was finishing these. I can quickly show you. Here's the bright full colored in Photoshop. Some of the webs that I just kind of quickly threw in, minor adjustments in here, and you can see my mask that was painted on. I just do a really quick mat around it and kind of feather it in then with a paintbrush. I don't do anything too detailed, especially for these where I was going to be adding so many effects later and darkening the image. I just needed a quick mask. So here was one other one of him, Dominic, after he gave up on the shoot. He sat down, but I figured that this could be a great rooftop scene. And so I found this overhead view of a cityscape and dropped him in on, and just basically I cut the the scene right here, the garage floor, and tried to make it look like he was perched up on a building ledge overlooking a city. And so those are just a couple of fun things that I've been doing to kind of have a creative outlet, and more for fun than anything. My boys, like I said, are really into superheroes, and I just really wanted to make them imagine themselves in a superhero realm and like they just fought a battle. This one was a Hulk shot, and I told him to try and pretend like he was picking up a heavy car and threw it over this great rundown building with these beams hanging and all on the floor, and then just dropped the Hulk in there. I painted him green in Photoshop, darkened his hair, and added smoke again. And here's me as Iron Man, just so that they would be able to see me in that realm as well. But it's just a fun way, simple. Anyone can do it. You can see the images that I started with, and what you can do in post-processing to really make the images come alive. And so that's the story behind this whole series of superhero photographs that I did for my boys, and I was really pleased with how they turned out. It was something new for me. I haven't really done anything like this, where I was taking background plates and working, trying to create the lighting that would work within that environment. So I actually had to change this photo quite a bit. Imagine this shot with one more light. Then I really blew out this area here in Photoshop. I just basically added white to make that light feel real and try and make the elements in the scene work together. So if you want to create superhero children of your own and want to do a project like this, or have any questions about the details that I didn't really go into about Photoshop and some of the processing, feel free to drop me a question down in the comments below here on YouTube or on my website or Facebook pages.